Hello and welcome to another vlog. This one is focusing on enhancing the Ruth Stout method. So why do I think, as a Ruth Stout beginner, that I can enhance the actual method itself? Well, it's actually because of the soil that lays beneath this. It's been harvested for hay for years, so it's been stripped of all its nutrients. So I'm concerned that there's no real background fertility in this soil. And if I'm honest, being a cynic and doubting Thomas that I am, I'm a little bit concerned that the hay itself won't produce the nutrients needed. As you may have gathered on my channel before, I do not add fertilizers of any description, because I'm very interested in what I can grow from what I can produce, and nothing added whatsoever. I will caveat that in another video, and that video will be introducing volcanic rock dust. It's the one addition I'm going to add to the soil, again because I'm very concerned about the mineralization of this particular plot. This is a quick look at some of the hay. Let's take you down further. You see there is some couch grass coming up and some creeping buttercup. So my idea is just to move it around like this, and then where it is, just lay it back down over again. Nice and simple, a nice easy solution to anything that's emerging. And by just moving this around just a little bit, I think that should curtail any new growth. I can actually see now, if I look down through, I can see some of this couch grass actually coming through, a bit more than what I actually anticipated. So yes, this is a good time to be moving this hay around. The crop that's rather obviously planted into this is potatoes. I am concerned about possible wireworm because this is a grass field, newly transferring over to cultivation, so there's bound to be wireworm in the soil, and also slugs. The slugs are going to be a bane in most in-ground growing potatoes. It's going to be a mix. So what I'm going to be doing, and I've actually done it already, but the beginning part of this video was very poor, so I'm re-recording it. So I'm doing 4 rows for starters. The first row I'm actually adding seaweed. I haven't got any footage really because it went all wrong. Common theme. Next row is going to be just the hay to see how the background fertility does react with the potatoes that are going to be planted in it. And the next 2 rows are what you're going to be seeing a little bit later on. You will notice on over here that there's a tarp that's been introduced. The tarp is only there because as I moved the hay across, I started exposing an area, so I wanted to use new hay to cover that area up to subdue the weeds, and it is very dry, and I want to prevent it blowing away. And the pallet there, again, it's just covering a patch that I've added the hay to, and I just want to subdue it. Now we could really do some rain. At this point I really ought to introduce what I'm adding at this stage. Well, this is hay from last year that I tried to hot compost with a lot of grass and a few wood chips. It's nowhere near finished. It's not very good at all. It's a bit of a failure, if I'm quite honest with you all. But in the Ruth Stout method, the lowest layer should comprise of mostly decomposed hay. So by putting this in the trench of where the potatoes are actually going to grow, I can't really see a problem. I think all I'm doing is cheating a bit. If you have any alternative view on this, please give me a shout in the comments below. That would be appreciated anyway, because it all helps the channel reach a wider audience with viewer engagement. But yeah, so in this trench, it's just going to go this badly composted hay, and then covered over with the fresher hay on top. On the next row, it's going to go exactly the same again, but with wood ash in the bottom. More on that a bit later. And grow potatoes in it, and then compare the crops with a couple other procedures along the way as well. One of the procedures will be just leaving it just hay, just to see what the background crop will be like. And then over here, I'm going to try a couple of different ways as well, of which will become apparent. And hopefully I'll get a couple rows of seaweed as well. So there you go, that's 4 trenches completed for today. Not many people's idea of completed, but this is trying the Ruth Stout method. I am running out of the poor compost. Right, so all we're doing is we're mixing in this poor compost, or rotted hay, whatever you want to term it. There is worms in it, so some of it is on the way, and the worms will love the addition of seaweed anyway. Just giving it a rough mix up, really rough, and that will go in the trench that you're about to see. Nothing special. Let's see if it works. I would like to quickly explain that I've run out of seaweed. Went to pick up the last or next batch of seaweed from the seashore, and it's all floated off on the last high tide, or most of it. This is the only 2 bags I could get, so I'm having to be a little bit more economical with how much I apply, which is a shame. But unless we have a storm, that's the end of the seaweed adventure for this year. So if I look to be being a little bit more economical than I have been, that is the reason why. I did pick up some bladderwrack, which will act as a background slow release fertilizer, as I've said before. But from a seaweed perspective, a little bit of a disaster, but not too much. At the moment, I'm very skeptical about this method. I'm more optimistic with the trench with the seaweed. That makes sense to me. But how this hay is going to produce a decent crop without fertilizers, which I'm not going to put on, because I'm a funny person. Let's wait and see. This is all an experiment, of which you are the viewer having a good chuckle at my expense. When I fail, you can say, well, Mike, we could have told you that, but you know, we're being far too polite. Right, signing off for now. I'll see you another time on another vlog with more daft ideas and chaotic design. See you later, guys. Bye bye.